Hold on. Make sure.
We're over here singing Hector Lavoe.
Listen.
Wepa!
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, we're streaming.
Okay. I'll be serious.
We go offline. The streams.
Up.
We're technically live right now. Really? It's wonderful.
Puerto Rican roots came out.
Damn.
I just get the
Ready.
ready. Hold on. Let's fix things up.
The older I get, the more I thought was wrong. It's weird. I wasn't a fan of it, but I got older and I started to really appreciate it.
Watch.
I got Willie Ball in here. Oh no, that's on.
Corner. Now.
Probably.
Since I can't seem to get the Facebook streaming live working, I just can't figure it out. People just a link and they can watch us on YouTube if they want. We don't know who's going to be watching, but you know, that's just the way it is. Okay.
Hold it up.
Well, taking photos, man. Taking photos.
Like, you get it? Let me see.
Let's see. I gotta see something. I got to see something.
Uh-oh.
We're gonna do this.
Like Brutus.
Like Brutus, the Barber P. Cake. Kevin Owens.
There's one person watching. Is
Happy.
I'm pretty sure that's probably me. I'm the one person watching.
Just watch yourself. Just don't touch yourself, okay?
Yeah.
It's a family show.
It's a family show?
It's a family show.
Alright, hold on. I wish I had a second screen because then that way I can kind of keep things off to the side and I can control how, what images come up first. But let's see if this...
What are you on Facebook?
Yeah. Well, no, I'm not on Facebook. I'm on YouTube. But, and you're staring dead at the camera, Nick. Yeah.
Yes.
The camera is my friend.
Alright. Let's do this. Man, put your phone away. Actually, we're going to check out one of the things. But, welcome to the corner. I'm your host and resident voice, Anthony Cruz. And with me always is the man who discovered the source wall and deciphered the anti-life equation and kept the secret for himself, the incredibly selfish Nicholas Portella.
It is a pleasure to be here. How are you?
Pretty good, man. How you been?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm excited. This is our first live podcast.
Our very first live podcast, and for our first podcast, we actually have a guest.
Yeah. Hold on. This is the first of many. Like, this is the first live podcast we've done. This is the first podcast that we're doing it video. You can see us now.
You can see our beautiful faces.
You know what I'm saying? It's
Don't
amazing.
change the channel. I'm that awesome. I am.
Hold on. You're staring into the camera and I don't even have the one shot on you. Hold on. Yeah, see. Now you can send your message.
Okay, now listen. Don't change it. I am that awesome. And this hat really is that cool.
Yeah.
It might overload your computer. Too much for your bandwidth. I don't know.
It might. So, it's the first time we're on video, so that's pretty exciting.
That's awesome.
Streaming. And we're on location.
We are on location.
We're in Delaware right now.
Newcastle, Delaware.
And we're here visiting a very friend of ours, but also a person who's into the things that we're doing. And he's going to tell us a little bit about what he does and how to, just do the things that we all love. You know what I'm saying? He takes it to the next level. So give it up for our special guest today, Luis Nieves.
Hold on, stop. I'll give him a better introduction. I got you. Hold on.
You got it? All right, hold on. Let me give you the two shot.
Yeah, give it a 2-shot. I got this.
There you go.
From Bronx, New York, by way of Newcastle, Delaware, he stands 5 foot furious, weighing in at 100 and maybe 80 pounds. I don't know. He lost some weight. The ultra Puerto Rican, suave, debonair, the CEO and chairman and principal director and every other title you can think of God Like Collectibles. As you look around, we are surrounded by all of his awesome stuff. And believe me, folks, he has more in stock. You can go on his website. We'll give you the website later. You can check it out. So, introducing my boy, my brother, Luis Nieves.
All right.
All right, what's up, guys? What up?
All right, man.
Pleasure to be here.
It's awesome, man. We've been wanting to do this for a while, and we had even talked about having wanted to do it from like a month ago.
Yeah.
Trying to get it, and we would have had one other person here with us. Unfortunately, he couldn't make it today, so you get us 3, not 4. But still, I mean, there'll be plenty of opportunity for us to have that for a person on, and it's something good when you have multiple minds on the same subject. You start to see angles that sometimes you just kind of get lost with just 2 people, or even 1 for that matter. So.
Oh, absolutely. You know, it's always, you know, they always say 4 eyes are better than 2, 2 heads are better than 1. Definitely, it's always good to get a third party in, new perspectives, new ideas, new opinions, and it's always great to show you guys some cool stuff, and which is one of the things we're looking forward to doing today. So you guys are gonna have a good show.
All right.
Awesome.
So, hold on. This thing is. I'm still learning the software. Like, you know, usually you should have like one other person switching the cameras.
Yeah.
I'm trying to learn how to do this myself. It's all new. It's very raw, very uncoordinated. Matter of fact, I'm probably even better of just, you know, leaving it with the 3-shot.
Right.
That's perfect.
You know what I'm
I'm
saying?
good with
Maybe
that.
that's a little bit better until we kind of work out the little kinks about the switching cameras. But I got ambitious, man. I got like 3 cameras. I got a camera right here, and I got a camera over there, and I got a camera right there looking at us.
We got cameras everywhere here.
So
We got more cameras than Big
Sweet.
Brother.
Word up, man.
We got
Just
cameras
streaming.
everywhere.
We're streaming, mofo. We're
We streaming.
So, what's the latest news on the pop culture? Have you heard anything? What's happening?
Wow. Okay. Going forward, they're talking about making a adaptation. This rumor, an adaptation for an old Japanese anime, Grappler Baki.
Oh, really?
People are there's something going on. It's a rumor, nothing etched in stone, but people have been talking about a possible Grappler Baki movie, which I think would be pretty awesome. As we know, we are going to get a live action Attack on Titan movie too, which is one of the hottest animes out right now. For those who haven't seen it, the first season's on Netflix. Check that out. That's really good. And Netflix is just killing it right now. They got so many good shows of their own original content.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, that's pretty dope.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I kind of fell off of Japanese animes.
Me too.
For a long time.
Yeah.
Like there was a lot of I was really into it at a time where it was more adult driven. So it was like before the Pokemons, the Digimons, the
One Piece and
Beyblades
like that.
and all that stuff. Like I couldn't do it, man. I too many big eyes. Too many large eyes staring back at me. I couldn't do it. It made me uneasy.
Me too. Did you feel?
You know, and there was the stakes involved. Like, all right, so you talking about classic animes like Go-Go 13,
Oh, that's awesome.
Spriggan, more feature films,
What was
Macros.
Mark DeCosco? So what's that?
What the
Mark DeCosmo.
Mark DeCosco starred in this movie based on an anime. What was it? Crying
Freeman?
Crying Freeman.
Freeman.
Yeah,
Crying Freeman was freaking awesome. So, yeah, like it was really like that was a time where stakes in those animations felt real.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So when they got to like Pokemon, Digimon, you completely took the stakes right out of it. You're playing with with little animals and stuff like that, and they're killing each other. And I don't give a fuck.
What about you, Joe? What about you?
They can kiss my ass. It's a playing card game.
Oh,
It's
that's
higher
arcade.
stakes in Uno.
Oh, man.
Oh God!
You know, so it kind of pulled me out of it. Like I kind of, and that's when I kind of like dejected. There was a few that I kind of still kept involved with. Dragon Ball Z being one of them.
Well, they brought that back. You know, they have all these
And I didn't
episodes,
even-
Dragon Ball Super.
And I didn't even watch the American one. I kind of like I stuck with the Japanese stuff because those American voices were horrible, man.
Yeah, they did. They really were. They sounded like they belonged on Sesame Street. But you know what?
It was like Grover did Vegeta.
Yeah, it was terrible. But you know, the second guys they brought in to do the voice work for Dragon Ball Z, they were a lot better. The second ones were a lot better.
Yeah.
It's weird. Like, but somewhere between the Cell Saga and the Majin Buu Saga, they changed voices.
Right.
And some of those voices were actually pretty good. Like, I enjoyed Vegeta's voice going forward.
Yeah.
I mean, Gohan has always been painful to listen to. Right. But Vegeta's voice is pretty cool. And even Goku's wasn't bad.
No, Goku's wasn't. It was okay. I mean, like, I don't know. Like, I got so used to the Japanese language for these, especially something like that, where it was like all right. So when you watch the Japanese version, Goku had a somewhat pitchy voice when he was normal, but it got even pitchier when he turned Super Saiyan because it was some thought process to it. It was like there was a physical change to him when he changed. Obviously, his hair turned yellow, his eyes turned blue, and then but his voice got pitchier because of the energy coursing through him. So you hear him when he fights.
Are you saying his vocal cords powered up?
Well, I'll tell you one thing. That's actually possibly real because every time he got his ass kicked, you heard him screaming for miles. So I'm just saying, So with that, like I don't know, I kind of got disjointed. Then they started coming out with some stuff that made me intrigued, like Attack on Titan. Like these newer shows that are coming out, and I'm like, damn, I want to get into it, but that means getting into the same shtick that I kind of ran away from.
Where else are you gonna find giant guys who fight using Muay Thai? It's crazy.
It's true.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like the fight scenes in that cartoon are sick.
Yeah, no, I and then they did the live movies, which I try to watch, but I couldn't because I didn't understand what it was, and I think I'd be doing myself a disservice from watching the live action movies instead of watching the cartoon first.
Yeah, well, get ready for this. They're talking about a live action Naruto.
Get out of here.
Oh,
Look, don't get me started on a don't get me started on a ninja with blonde hair and an orange jumpsuit wearing open-toe shoes. I can't do it. His task.
Headbands.
Oh, God.
His catchphrase is "believe it."
In the English version, yeah. Believe it. Yeah, oh,
like
God.
Roman Reigns.
Like Roman Reigns. Believe that.
I can't do it, man.
Naruto's about as good on the mic as Roman Reigns.
That's not saying.
So no, I can't do it, man.
I like old school animes.
Yeah, what's your favorite?
Yeah,
What's your
man.
favorite?
I like Fist of the North Star. Vampire Hunter D was great too.
Oh yeah, what about Street Fighter 2?
Yeah,
The animated movie.
Street Fighter 2 and
Street Fighter 2. Oh my goodness, man, that was classic.
Yeah.
I even liked the Alpha, not that much, but I liked the.
Yeah,
Alpha.
I liked it too.
It was okay. There was too much powering up in that thing for me.
Yeah.
It also came out with
there was a
the
lot
zombies.
less fighting, a lot more powering up.
Right.
Every
it was
fight,
like
I'm like, oh, okay, I'm done with
it
this.
was like they were about to bust capillaries.
Yeah. Oh, no, that powering up. And you know what it is? Maybe because Dragon Ball Z ruined it for me, but I'm used to seeing characters power up on a level where the whole planet is shaking.
Oh.
These guys powered up and they broke a tree. It was like, really? And then I got another guy there talking about, wow, what power? And I'm thinking, you guys are a bunch of bitches. All that yelling and screaming to break a tree? Get out of here.
Well, what can I say? Nobody's watching right now, by the way.
That's okay. That's okay.
Maybe probably one person watching right now, but
It's probably you.
It's probably me. Like I said, I'm logged in because I have to see if it's actually streaming. Like there's when you go on the page where it's like how do you call it? It tells you the health strength of the stream. So you're kind of watching it yourself, but there's like a delay. I really couldn't tell you if there's a lot of people watching or not. So.
Well, here's something for pop culture news.
Please,
Next week in the UFC, the long-awaited debut
yeah.
of professional wrestler CM. Don't call me Phil Brooks Funk.
Don't call me Phil Brooks Funk. Oh man.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see. What
I know
he
you're a
does.
wrestling fan.
I'm a big wrestling
so I know
fan.
you're looking forward to it.
I am looking forward to it because I'm curious to see how he's gonna handle his own. Because we saw Brock Lesnar. He was able to handle his own. Obviously, he has a wrestling background.
Yeah.
And but to see CM Punk do it is gonna be interesting because all he's ever done is just regular professional wrestling. And,
Right. He doesn't have that NCAA
Yeah,
background
exactly. He
Brock
don't have
Lesnar has.
that background, amateur background. So I'm curious how he's gonna respond to really getting whooped.
Yeah. And let me tell you, that kid he's fighting, they didn't throw him an easy kid. This kid's name's Mickey Gall. I think he's 2-0, or maybe I think he's 2-0 right now. He's someone who's been training for a very long time. He's new to the UFC, obviously. Yeah. He got the fight. Matter of fact, they chose this. There's a show on YouTube called Dana White's on for, and I forgot who else. It's called Looking for a Fight. It's the name of this show. Go around looking for these young, hot prospect MMA guys, right? So they found Mickey Gall, and after Mickey Gall won his fight by submission, the kid is slick with his jiu-jitsu. Let me tell you, real slick jiu-jitsu. He grabbed the mic and said, "I want to fight CM Punk."
Really?
He grabbed the mic and called out CM Punk. Dana White heard that, and that was all he needed to hear. They've been looking for a guy to fight Punk. Because who are you going to put him in? The UFC is full of dudes who have been fighting for a long time.
Yeah.
You don't get too many guys in the UFC that are like 0-0, right? So they're looking for a comparable opponent for Punk.
Yeah. So
they found it with this kid. He only had one amateur fight at the time, and one professional fight at the time. I'm sorry, but this is a kid who's been training his whole life to be a pro fighter.
Wow.
This isn't like some Johnny come lately guy who decided, I'm gonna put on some gloves and get in an octagon. This kid is not nasty. Good striking, very slick submission game. He takes your back with lightning speed. So they didn't throw Punk an easy guy.
Yeah.
At all. So it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out.
It is. It is going to be interesting. And speaking of like WWE wrestlers and all that stuff, you guys heard about Conor McGregor? He was talking some smack.
Yeah, I heard about it.
He came on and he was saying something to the likes of Brock Lesnar and Brock Lesnar. I heard they interviewed him.
Really?
Yeah, and he was like. He's 140 pounds. Like, I'm
Brock Lesnar eats more than Conor McGregor weighs.
He says he takes shits bigger than him.
He probably does. He probably does.
So it's like, but he was complaining about saying that, I guess with CM Punk coming on to fight in the next UFC, and he has some comments about WWE guys. But at the very end of it, right? You think about it, what they do is not easy.
Oh, absolutely not. I mean? We were talking about that earlier.
You got to be athletic. Obviously a lot of the stuff is all predetermined, but the athleticism that those guys have is unbelievable.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, wicked.
Absolutely.
And not only that, think about like when they're doing 20, 30-minute matches without stopping.
Yeah.
Granted,
you got to give a little leeway. When they hit them in the head, they lay down for 30 minutes.
Yeah, that's true. But
that's how they catch their breathers, really.
But when Brock Lesnar busted open Randy Orton,
oh man, 10 staples in his head.
10 staples in his head.
You can't fake that. But and so we had talked about that up on the right here, and we were saying that the athleticism is really insane. You gotta have stamina to do those kind of matches. Now, whether or not you succeed in the UFC depends on whether or not you put in the time to learn striking, grappling, the things.
And whether you have an aptitude for it.
Right.
And then you have to actually do some in-house training matches, like matches, real contact, full contact matches behind closed doors to see if you can handle going 5 rounds in full contact.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So anybody who's willing to take this seriously is gonna put in that kind of thing. So I'm gonna bet CM Punk is one of those dudes who's taking this seriously.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, he took 2 years.
Yeah.
He's done nothing for the last 2 years but train. And let me tell you, he's training with a good camp too. He's training with Duke Rufus. Duke Rufus is Anthony Pettis' coach. All right, anybody who knows that's Showtime Pettis. Yeah. You don't know who he is? Look up the Showtime kick. This dude ninja kicked Ben Henderson. He ran up the cage and kicked Ben Henderson off the cage. It was like something you'd see out of a movie. Anthony Pettis is nasty. Anthony Pettis is a nasty dude. Sergio Pettis is another one. And Duke Rufus is a coach for a lot of other guys just in the striking department because Rufus himself was a champion kickboxer. Wow. So Duke Rufus's gym is a legit gym. And that's where CM Punk has been training for the last 2 years. He's been training there with killers, with guys who are really good. So we're going to see what it's about. The biggest difference to me when I look at this situation is, as a fan of both real fighting and pro wrestling, is impact. When you're training to be a fighter, your body learns to adapt to impact from the moment you put on gloves. You're getting punched, you're getting kicked, whatever it is. When you're a wrestler, it's a different kind of impact. You get used to getting slammed, you get used to getting suplexes. It's not the same thing as taking a shot in the head from a guy who kicks hard enough to break a baseball bat with one kick. It's a very different kind of impact. Yeah. For the same reason we've seen professional football players try their hand at MMA and get beaten very badly
Right.
With one or two exceptions here, because getting tackled is one thing. Yeah. Getting punched in the face by a dude who's been punching people in the face since the time he could walk, very different story.
True.
You know, getting kicked in the stomach by a guy who kicks with maybe 800 pounds of pressure per square inch is a very different thing than getting tackled. It's like Drago. Whatever he hits, he destroys. You know? No, it's a very different animal. Yeah. You know, so I'm interested to see how, when the fight starts, how CM Punk handles that first real kick.
Yeah,
that first real punch. Because you know what? Yeah, you know when you're
breaking cinder block pillar.
You know, yeah, breaking the ceiling. You know, guys. But there's guys like that. You know, and when he gets that first, it's one thing to get kicked in training.
Yeah.
You know, I did a little training. I know what it is to get kicked in training. When you get kicked for real by a dude who wants to break your leg, it's a very different thing. So I'm curious to see how he responds from that first punch. That first initial hit, that first initial contact.
We're gonna see it.
You know, does he panic? Does he lose his head? You know, the second he gets, because you know, there's a certain fight awareness. You get hit, you get rocked. There's certain things your body kind of goes on autopilot, and it does. Right. When you're not from that world and you take a shot and your brain is spinning in your skull, you know, it's gonna be very curious to see how CM Punk handles that. But you know, part of me is rooting for him.
Yeah, sure.
A part of me is rooting for him. You know, it really is.
We're gonna see. I'm curious.
And we have a heavyweight title fight on that same card, but the fight everybody wants to see is CM Punk's fight. Yeah. You know, there's a heavyweight title. Stipe Miocic is defending the title against Alistair Overeem, his first title defense.
Oh shit! All right.
Yeah, Alistair Overeem, or he's not on steroids anymore, so he's not Ubereem anymore. we used to call him Ubereem when he was back on the roids. Look at him when he fought Brock Lesnar. He looked like He-Man. Yeah. His muscles had muscles.
He was tad big.
Tad?
That man. Looking like Papa Pump.
Well, he wasn't. He was huge, man.
To all my freaks out there.
Yeah, the little ball on top of them.
What else has been going on? Yeah, just a couple of announcements. You know, CW's coming back this fall with all the superhero
Arrow,
shows.
Flash,
Four nights a week, you're gonna see superheroes.
Holy
That's awesome. I can't wait.
And
my DVR is gonna be so full.
And they plan on doing all these crossover episodes between them.
Oh, that's fantastic.
So you're gonna see Legends tomorrow on Arrow, and then Flash on Supergirl on Arrow. Like they're just going nuts with it.
Hey, listen. They have to control that medium because Marvel has the big screen on lock.
Yeah,
they just do. True. So where DC has to dominate, it has to be the small screen.
Yeah,
because right now they're not messing with Marvel. They're just not. I'm sorry.
But they're trying. We're gonna get to that. In a second.
Suicide Squad was great. That's some good movies.
But how you call it? They just released a photo of Power Girl.
Really?
You know, the one with the star.
Oh yeah,
on the chest.
she's like a clone of Supergirl, basically. Yeah.
She with the star on the chest and the staff and all that.
Well, they have to put the stars in the comics. She's practically naked.
Oh crap! We just
had technical difficulties.
No,
technical difficulties. Yeah, that's right. We're not using this one too much anyway. That's right. That's not the main screen. This one kind of went bust. But how you call it? So they got Power Girl with the suit, full suit, staff, and all that stuff, and she's gonna be featured on Legends tomorrow. Because what they're doing is that they're gonna treat Legends tomorrow like an ever-changing team. That's the goal.
Oh, okay.
So you're gonna see brand new characters.
That's brilliant.
Come in, some
That's
of the
actually
characters
brilliant.
It's good because you know like the first season was kind of polarizing. You know, like some people loved it, some people didn't. There was a lot of issues with pacing. You know what I'm saying? So they're trying to find their footing. They don't want it to be canceled. They want to. The goal is to get 5 shows 5 days a week.
That's insane. Do you follow Legends of Tomorrow?
No, I haven't.
No, but I know you like Arrow.
It's got a fuck ton of potential. It's really there's so much there. Like when the episodes that work amazing, and then the episodes that work bad, you're like, ugh, like why the hell did you do that? But there was like I can tell you so many instances where I thought the show was like wicked cool. They had an episode where they reintroduced Jonah Hex. You know that movie, Blue.
That movie was horrible.
Right. Despite
having a very good actor play Jonah Hex.
Yeah, and they did this show, and they did a very good Jonah Hex episode, and where they went back into the past. They did an episode where the Atom turns really big and fights this Leviathan character. Oh wow! And it was damn good. It was almost like movie quality. It was really awesome. Scenes where they fought as a team and it looked like something out of the Avengers.
Oh wow!
So
that's true. I can.
So they has moments of moments like peppered throughout the show. And then like one thing that makes Flash work so well, and even Supergirl, is that they're good at giving feels. You know, like those tender moments, those intimate moments where the characters are either their heart out or just just talking the shit. So, but it's good dialogue and you're hooked. So they started to do that on that show. They started focusing on more on the one character because early on in the season they were just trying to like play for the episode. You don't have to do that. It's not a movie. Like a movie, you got to get everybody play. Useless. But you have a season, preferably a season with like 20-something episodes, so you can give everybody a chance to shine at some point. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it was the pacing that they had an issue with, and it looks like they're committing the awesome season. They're looking on that. Ways of Marvel, like where they're falling on the TV shows.
Right.
This season of She introducing Ghost Rider.
Yeah,
I heard that.
It's not, and it's not the Nicolas Cage one neither.
No, I heard he's gonna have like
it's not the I'm talking about not the Johnny Cage.
Right.
So it'll be a new character.
It's a new Spanish Adam Torres or something. I don't know. But instead of the motorcycle, he drives like one of those muscle cars.
Oh, okay.
So all the four wheels burst into flames. The engine on top bursts into flames.
Damn.
And more like modern, like more futuristic. So he's not a biker.
Oh, okay.
He looks like more like Racer X kind of thing.
What about his he's gonna have a helmet or something?
It's a helmet, but it's a skull helmet.
Okay, I got you.
You know what I'm saying? Like it has like a really unique design for the skull.
Yeah.
But it's not an actual physical skull like the other Ghost Rider. It looks wicked cool, and he's gonna be on this one with the car and all.
You know, I've tried with Agents of. Have you watched Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
Yeah, I saw the first season.
What do you think of that show?
I actually enjoyed some of those episodes, but like you said, it does fall short compared to some of the DC stuff, man. DC stuff on the small.
It is. And it has been for years. It's weird.
In comparison, like when you talk about the Netflix, they're like on another level.
Daredevil is awesome.
I mean, like Flash competes with the Netflix shows. Supergirl towards the end of the season got up there too.
What about Arrow? You don't think Arrow holds up next time?
Arrow.
Because I enjoyed Arrow just as much as I enjoyed Daredevil.
But Jay said it right. Like it kind of like it's losing its momentum, and it's basically because of the way it's filmed. I mean, they do this jumping back and forth stuff with the past time jumps, and sometimes it's unnecessary. Like we're so sick of him. Like at some point, he was supposed to be away 5 years. We're going into season 5. How many more time jumps are you gonna do? This boy's been back home, back on the island, back on the island. Like this dude has gone back and forth to the island so much. He was never stranded. Preferred to be there. I was like, I'm sick of this shit. I'm sick of my moms. I'm sick of my sister. Speed can go to hell. So I don't know. Like that storytelling has gotten bad.
It's funny. I disagree with that. It's weird because I'm a Highlander. Remember the show Highlander? Mm-hmm. With Adrian Paul. It was a really good show, and every episode there was a but again you're dealing with an immortal who's lived 400 years. But every episode there was a flashback to a situation he's dealing with now. Resonates with a situation he dealt with maybe, or even an enemy that he was coming across now. He ran across a couple of centuries ago.
Yeah,
and so there was a
centuries.
Right. There was a lot of that going back and forth. But to me,
this jackhole's been on the island for like 24 hours. How many flashbacks are you gonna do?
Yeah, that makes sense.
That makes sense. Yeah. But I don't know. It just doesn't bother me.
It pulls you out, especially when you start getting. I mean, there's times in Arrow you really start to get into the story. Or you start getting into the plot line, and then they jump you back to a scene where he's walking in the woods, says something, and then comes back to. And I'm like, is that necessary? Like, do I need that in my life? We know what happens. That's my problem with prequels. You know what's gonna happen. I'm sick of that shit.
But I don't know. I've enjoyed watching Arrow become Arrow in those flashbacks. I've enjoyed the first time he killed somebody, the first time he started to get trained. Listen, the first flashback.
As long as you make it relevant to his training.
Right. Well, when they introduced
That
Slade.
was very
I
good.
love those flashbacks
Yeah.
with Slade because I love the guy who played Slade.
Yeah, it was very good.
You know?
But then they got to the thing where they had to stop a virus. He goes to China and he meets the Noroku or whatever her name.
Noroku?
Or whatever her damn name is. And a husband, and they got the little kid nut. I was so sick of that. You know, I was so tired. I'm like, come on, man. He goes back home, watches his family from afar like a sucker. And then jumps back on the plane, goes back to the island. Then he gets off Constantine. Like, I'm done. Like, they're pushing some Smallville level bullshit on us.
Oh my god.
I don't know if anyone pushes Smallville level bullshit. That
close.
show lasted 9 years and the dude never flew until the very last episode.
You guys were hooked for that for 9 years.
Listen, after season 4,
No, I still look for now.
after season 4, I
did.
couldn't. I stopped after season 4. I would change the
Was
channel.
that Gumby episode?
Yeah, pretty much with Gumby. He came back and he's Gumby. You know, they kept me vested for 4 seasons, and then enough was enough. You know, like listen, how long does it take to get with a girl? I've never had this much. I mean,
Don't get me started on Lana.
All right,
Don't get me started on Lana.
Forget Lana. If I looked like Tom Welling looks, that show would have been a porn. It wouldn't have been. If I had that guy's looks, please, that would have been a damn porn. Lana, Chloe, everyone. The feature, Mercy, Lex's mom, whoever. I didn't care who.
Pornville?
Yeah, that was Pornville.
Somebody slay me.
So, yeah. Somebody slay me. Somebody lay me. Whatever you want to the theme song. No. I couldn't.
Oh,
Lana, nothing.
boy.
Clark, Jesus. All this power and clueless about women.
Oh man, no. I checked out, but I stood on. I kept watching because there was moments of brilliance.
Then he was the Blur.
There was moments of brilliance.
I'm like, oh, stop.
Peppered throughout the show all the way into season 9. But I checked out at that episode where Pete eats the kryptonite laced gum and becomes super Gumby.
Yeah, he becomes stretchy guy.
Stretchy guy. I was like, that's it. This is where, like, you talking about jumping the shark moments when, like, Arthur Fonzarelli, you know, like.
Oh yeah, we're not going there. We're not going to Happy
does
Days.
the ski jump in his leather jacket.
Do you remember that? Remember that Happy Days? Yeah, we're gonna take it back, folks. Happy Days. Look it up on YouTube. Arthur Fonzarelli ski jumps in a leather jacket.
Yeah.
Over sharks.
Or and you know, it was very similar.
Forget Chuck Norris. It's the Fonz.
It's the fun.
For real.
Or when the Batman did a surfing competition with the Joker and
Yeah, I'm done.
Yeah, the shorts.
the shorts.
Yeah, the shorts, the bat shorts.
The yellow shorts.
Hey, nothing beats the Batman and Robin movie where he had the bat shark repellent.
Yeah.
Remember that? The shark jumped on him. Took out bat
spray?
shark repellent.
Yeah, of course.
It sprayed the shark. I can't.
So
I'm done.
So yeah, that's how I'm feeling with Arrow. But I do, to much as the villain, Damien Dark, felt like a real threat.
Oh well, Damien Dark's a bad dude. Very
And they
He's
did
a
right.
very
And they did. I like the actor, and they did right by him that whole season.
yeah.
last
Damien
season.
Dark is a bad
Because
dude.
he, like, every time you thought they got him,
They don't.
they don't. He finds a way out, and he was just like a real threat. Like I felt that no one was safe on that show. Like anybody can go.
The thing about villains like Damien Dark is it's a weird thing. In the comics, they're cool, but they're cool to like a niche group of fans, right?
Mm.
But those types of villains, for some reason, when you get them on screen, they shine. You know, I don't know why. I don't know what it is. I'm not sure. Maybe they just kind of get lost in the shuffle in the comic books amongst the Jokers and Lex Luthors of the world.
Yeah.
But when you get certain villains, like Damien Dark is a bad dude. He's one of DC's most underrated villains. Him and Black Adam. I've always thought Black Adam was a badass villain. Never really got the play, with the exception of a few moments here and there. Never got the play he deserved. You know, there's some really good villains. Damien Dark is one of them. You know, he has been for a long time. So it was really cool to see Arrow take a character that most people, your casual comic book reader doesn't know who Damien Dark is.
Yeah.
Not your casual reader. So it was cool to take a character that kind of lost in obscurity and make him relevant, and I thought that was awesome. But then again, Arrow was relevant, and using him, he became